The Film Slash Crew review Avengers, not the new one, but the old one. The first one, the nostalgia one. The 2012 one, that one.
Yeah, not End Game, more like Start Game. Hey, here we go.
Ooh.
Hey, Team Vegas Striker here. Welcome to the Film Slash Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diggly Wiggly Cone Dogs.
Hi there.
And Brody Liddy Broadman Richards.
Formerly known as, this week known as Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers. We're here in the studio with the one and the only Steve Rogers, who, as everyone knows, plays Batman in the Marvel Universe. So,
Yeah, he's Aquaman, yeah? He's an Aquaman?
yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
This week we're doing something a bit different. We're reviewing a movie that came out a couple of bloody years ago because there's nothing on.
Turns out no one wants to compete with Avengers End Game.
Not a single soul wants to compete with Endgame except for the people who made Hellboy, and they're stupid.
They're paying for that, yeah.
They are paying for that.
Literally no one's paying for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was nothing to do with it, and we don't want to talk all things Endgame because some of us might know more than others, and that'd spoil it for the rest of us.
Yeah, we want to go in spoiler free. So there are no Endgame spoilers here, except for the fact that, of course, Thanos does it. No, I'm just fucking around.
Oh, you almost got me.
Thanos was Luke's father.
All right, let's start this one off with the IMDb summary.
Alrighty.
Jordan Kane reads out a summary again.
It's not a good start. Alright. Earth's mightiest heroes must come together and learn to fight as a team if they are going to stop the mischievous fuck.
Yes.
The mischievous fuck, Loki.
mischievous fuck Loki and his alien army from enslaving humanity. How come the guy with the list supposed to read out the IMDb every week? Alright.
That's just the way it goes.
It's just the way it goes. Sorry for a big list, but me, one of us.
Sweet. So that is the summary, and it is pretty much how the movie goes.
Yep.
Pretty
Start to
straightforward.
Yep.
Look, has anyone not seen it? I'm not asking you guys because we just watched it, but if
I've
you're,
seen it.
I'm assuming people at home.
I've also seen it.
Okay.
All right, I guess we're all seeing it. Thanks for that input, K-Dogs. All right.
On to the next thing, I guess.
Let's go
I was
with...
just going to say that. Anyone who hasn't seen it
when did you
probably
see
When
it?
did you see the movie?
And what did you think?
What did you
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit. When did you see the movie and what did you think?
What did you
I
think?
thought it was alright. Saw it about an hour ago.
Well, also, we all saw it together in 2012
We all
when it came
saw
out.
it together in 2012 when it first came out, and I sat next to Jordan, and Jordan said, I really fucking hope that no one says anything during this film because I'm really fucking excited. So what did I do? At the very first scene, I leaned over to Jordan and said, it's Thor. It's Thor. Thor's coming now. It's Thor. It wasn't Thor, it was Loki. He came through the
No one wants
Tesseract,
to listen
which
to this. You
is
should
a
probably
part
cut most of it out.
of the Infinity Gems. Or we're not meant to spoil End Game, but they're Infinity Gems. Spoiled it.
Well, I think maybe we should cut all of that out.
No.
I saw it an hour ago with a couple of fucks.
We also saw it all together in 2012.
Thought it was pretty good. We saw it all together in 2012. I did sit next to Jordan. He did say, I hope no one talks during the cinema because we saw it with about 14 people.
And then
I did immediately say something in the first scene and felt very bad about it for the rest of the film.
And then I went on to spill about 1.5 liters of Coke.
Jordan
all over
spilled
myself.
a liter of Coke himself. One of our other friends spilled his entire large box of popcorn all over the ground.
Yep.
And me. And it was a general fun time. Still a good movie session, even though we sat on the very, very front row.
We're probably on
looking
someone else's
directly
podcast.
up at the.
We're probably on someone else's podcast from 2012 with Cinema Discs.
Cinema Discs,
Some young
yeah.
lads
Yeah,
that came
Cinema
and
Discs.
spilled Coke everywhere
These
immediately.
14 geezers came
Yeah.
in, spilled Coke and popcorn everywhere. One of them talked, said something about Thor. Jordan, what about you? When did you see it?
Well, we all saw it just now, but also back in 2012 and multiple
Wait,
times.
when did it come out?
2012.
Oh. And you saw it, like, opening day?
I can't remember when exactly we saw it. I feel like we saw it that night.
Interesting.
I can't quite remember. I've
I thought it
repressed
was
a
a
lot of
day.
it.
I thought it was a day thing.
No, it was after school. I remember that because I remember being on the train with one of us. It wasn't either of you, but it was another one.
It
of
wasn't
us.
after school. We did it on a weekend.
Yeah,
it
sure
was-
the weekend.
We all trained into water gardens.
It was
Yeah.
Sinead, and on the train there, she told me that she hadn't seen any of the Marvel films and then asked me if that was important. And then I was very angry.
And you were like, nah. They're no DC anyway.
Nah.
Had DC done anything outside of Batman at that point?
They did Batman.
Right.
The trilogy, which was really good.
Yeah, they did. They had
So Jordan,
Superman.
I think
basically
that was Man
DC
of
did this
Steel.
trilogy on Batman
Man of Steel was
with
2011.
it was like all made by Christopher Nolan and
You don't
like,
need
starring
to tell
Christian
me I
Bale.
love those
And they're like
films.
some of my favorite films. Anyway, you should really watch them.
Nope,
It's like
they're
some of
my
my
favourite
favorite films, especially the second one,
Literally my favorite film.
The Pork Knight. Really, really
No.
good. Really, really good film.
Right.
Angus, what about you?
I saw this movie about an hour ago
Okay.
with two bozos, and but I bloody love them. I bloody love those guys. And I also saw it.
Who are they?
I think it was like 2013, 2014. I can't quite remember the year.
Fair enough.
Back then as well. So.
It's 2012. Came out in 2012.
But did you see it when it first came out?
I also saw it in 2012. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen this like 1,000 times.
Well, you didn't say that, so I guess that's
Yep.
a bit
That's
of a lie.
moot point. Yeah. Wasn't in the segment. So it's not canon.
That being said, I haven't seen it. Outside of this year. It's
Jordan,
probably been a
you
good,
already had your segment.
probably been a good year since I've seen it last. Prior to this,
Yeah,
probably
I-
longer. I'd
yeah.
say it's been a couple of years since I'd seen it.
I think that's the problem that we're finding with these Marvel movies is that because so many are coming out and they're so constant, they don't have a big rewatchability just because you're like, well,
No, yes,
I already know, like,
everything.
you know, everything that's going to happen.
I'm sure years
in
from
the
now,
future kind of
years
thing.
from now, it'll be kind of fun to go back and look at them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
But it's not one of those movies that you whack on, like, every weekend.
Yeah, no.
Lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram and Twitter what movies we're reviewing and I
Yeah.
ask our slices out there.
Can you notice the
Yeah.
guilt in his voice?
I didn't put anything up.
Because we literally put up our last
'Cause-
podcast yesterday.
Yeah, we're recording this. Well, it's a cheeky look behind the curtains. We're recording this a bit earlier than normal because one, we don't have to wait for Thursday for a movie to come out, and two, it's the Easter holidays.
Yeah. So
And
everyone
Angus wasn't
when we
free.
would have
off
recorded.
in like all different directions.
Yeah. So happy Easter to all the slices out there. But yes, also
Or happy weekend to
or-
all you other people.
other non-Easter believers. Yeah. I have, in fact, got a few little DMs on the Film Slice Instagram
The
account. So,
DMs?
direct messages.
Yeah.
Ah. It's not what I thought that meant. Anyway,
What
go
did
on.
you think it meant?
Detergent mice.
Detergent mice.
Yeah, it's the
Fair enough.
It's pretty close.
I mean, that's where I would have gone, Jordan.
first thing
I would have
thought.
gone. I would have gone straight to detergent mice.
Yeah.
Um,
Weird that the first word that came to mind when I tried to think of something that began with D was detergent.
and then mice.
Yeah, and then mice. Some would say I was put on the spot there, but
Cheers.
I did that to myself.
All right. So, let's start with at the bottom, not.filmslice.host.
Yep.
One of our long-time listeners, I'm going to say now, because
Yeah,
they've
fair enough,
called
fair
in quite a few times. He said, Jordan's a...
What?
I can't say half these words, so
Can you say
instead
it and beep
I'm
it?
going to rhyme.
Okay,
Give
yeah,
some,
yeah,
give
yeah.
some rhyming words. Jordan's a right stunt, duck-faced, ducking, prick, tick, sit house, ball bag, crank. So,
I'm not quite sure which of those words have been rhymed and which are the originals. What is crank? Just crank?
no.
Right.
Yep.
Starts with a W.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, don't spell it out.
I haven't.
Sweet. So that was from not.filmslice.host.
You're a bit of a dick, Brody.
Make sure you head on
Hey,
over to that Instagram.
why is it coming over
Can
me?
I, can I guess that maybe you didn't think of what to write and that was a bit last minute, and so you've just
No.
you put a lot of, you've been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah.
And we've got from Hooverman91.
Yep.
He says, I dislike Jordan's tan chinos and dark blue checkered shirt.
I'm literally sitting. How does he know if it's not you?
Also, he's a chunky bitch.
This isn't even clever. It's just straight up insults at this
It
point.
is brutal.
This is just bullying.
All right, and I've got one request, so I'll just bloody open up this request. This is from the underscore star underscore spangled underscore fan underscore. And he says
So what's that name?
the underscore.
No,
star.
without it didn't let me. It doesn't let you put spaces in without the underscore.
It didn't let what? Yes, so the underscore star underscore spangled underscore fan.
So the
Underscore.
Star Spangled Fan.
Yeah, with an extra underscore at the end for a little bit of extra taste.
I'm
there.
sure he'll fix that up.
And we're going to allow the message. The message says, whatever that Brotty guy and his buddy said, it's probably wrong. And he's a fuckhead.
Well, I don't know who that is, but he sounds like a
No.
genuine hero.
There's no Brody on this podcast.
No, Brotty.
I'm Steve Rogers.
Brotty. Brotie.
Brotty.
That's Brody.
Whatever it is, doesn't matter. There isn't one on this podcast.
Yeah.
Sounds like a real hero, and it sounds like Brody. Maybe you should look at his page, just in case he may or may not have been.
I mean, if they'd said the name of one of us, I would have just said that they were probably copying someone else's funny joke and said should probably come up with their own.
All right, sweet. That's what our slices thought of. Cane Dogs, did you get anything on Facebook that you didn't put up?
You didn't put it on Facebook. Jesus, you are a chunky bitch.
I feel really bullied. And not only that, but I created a superhero specifically to defend me, and he hasn't got a say. But no.
Sweet. All right.
Fair enough.
Let's move on then.
Well, would you guys recommend this one?
Would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to?
Look, I really have enjoyed this film more as an idea in my head from a time in my life that's a bit more nostalgic. Going back and revisiting it, I don't think I enjoyed it nearly as much as I thought I would. So, if you're a fan of this film, I'd actually say leave it alone.
Yeah.
Maybe return to it a couple more years from now, where it not really building up to the hype is okay, where you expect it to have aged, but it's actually aged not as well as I'd hoped it would have in quite a small amount of time. So, if you haven't seen any of these like Marvel films yet, absolutely go see, hire this movie and go see it. But if you love this film and you saw it when it came out and you haven't really gone revisited it since, still don't for a while. I don't think this film has aged as well as I'd hoped.
Yeah, I totally agree as well. When watching it, I was like, this isn't quite as good as I remember it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because
doesn't have the charm that it used to have.
Well, I think the main reason I loved this film back when it first came out was the hype. Like, the hype train was insane. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to see a movie with all of these superheroes together, like, ensemble cast for the first time. Like, it didn't happen before Avengers. Like,
And-
Avengers was the movie that kind of made, made the universe like a reality kind of thing. So,
and it was done well when it came out. It
Yeah.
was quite
yeah.
good. The thing is since then,
We've
it
seen
has
it
been
done better.
perfected and
Yeah.
done better. And the characters themselves also have been greatly improved since then as well. So all the characters that might be your favorites now, not necessarily so good in that movie.
yeah, exactly. Or
Already.
not as fleshed out.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers,
It's me. It's weird
famous catchphrase.
because
Yep, it's me.
it's weird coming back to it from watching the more recent Marvel films because we've been having Marvel films for so many years now that they have crossed over through like visual styles and they have changed like via the audience's like feedback and stuff. Like especially Guardians of the Galaxy was a big thing, like how big and colorful that was, and now pretty much every Marvel movie after that has been very big, very colorful. And so it's weird going back to a film where like all the colors are really washed out
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like a Marvel film, which is weird because
it's still kind of trying to figure out what a Marvel film is.
Yeah,
it's like still in the growing stage.
very much.
Sweet. Anything before we head on into spoilers? I don't think so.
No, I think we're good.
Let's bloody get on into it.
Before we head into spoilers, Thanos kills everyone.
Not even in this movie. Well,
Alright.
he is kind of.
He is, yeah. All right.
Hashtag not a spoiler. Oh, what a cool sound effect that is.
All right, we're in the spoilers section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film. You've been warned. Good luck, everyone, on not getting any information about this film that came out in 2012.
Fair enough.
Before we get into the spoilery do's,
No, I know what you're going to say. and
Any
I suggest
cinema
we
dicks?
skip
We have
this.
a cinema
No.
dick. We have one
We have two.
in the home cinema.
We have at least two.
Jordan bought some Pringles and he decided to share it with everyone. And I had some, and I couldn't fit my hand in the fucking tube because Jordan got an extra small tube.
I got the tube that you guys
Jordan got
told
an
me to
extra
buy.
small tube. Couldn't fit my hand in. My hand's mangled for life. Thanks,
Nobody's hand fits in a Pringles tube.
Jordan. Next cinema dick.
mine does. I got petite hands though.
Petite. Angus has those Pringle grabbing hands.
About 20 minutes into the film, Brody got up and made maybe the most noise in a kitchen one could make while someone else is watching a movie by opening up the loudest packet of chips and then, as loudly as possible from presumably a meter away, pouring them into a bowl. And it was very loud.
Angus, can I get a fact check on this? Did we have chips 20 minutes into
No,
the movie?
little biscuits. We had
It
biscuits.
wasn't.
and sort.
Yeah,
It wasn't
was,
chips, okay,
it was
Jordan?
Water crackers.
Jordan,
And it wasn't a bowl. It was a Tupperware container.
Jordan,
Right, but-
your comment is null and void.
No.
Okay, cinema dick number 2. Jordan's phone went off in the middle of the film.
Yeah,
Just went
I was trying to set up an Instagram account
Jordan's phone
No reason.
and I didn't know how to do that.
All right. Let's start with our most positive things about Avengers.
Pause,
the
pause, pause,
first.
pause, pause. Who wants to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, cane dogs.
Rock,
Go for it.
paper, scissors. Okay, I won. So my
He
favorite
just gave me
part,
the finger.
my favorite part, the one shot of all the heroes that swings around towards the other film still holds up.
Iconic.
Pretty cool.
Still awesome, still
Iconic.
iconic. It still had the desired effect. It was pretty epic.
Sure. Angus.
I really liked Hulk.
Yeah, okay,
Hulk
this was
smash.
also the first
Okay.
movie he's in as
It's
well.
like the first one that Mark Ruffalo takes the
Take the reins.
Mantle.
takes the mantle.
Yep.
The rain mantle.
The rain mantle.
Rain Mantle. Ray Mantle was the guy that played Hulk before.
Right.
Mark Ruffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now he's playing a different superhero called Praying Mantles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do suss that one out as well. Yeah. So I really liked how they brought the Hulk in, and he really fit with the team as well, and all that kind of slapstick comedy does heighten the movie a little bit because not everyone's cracking jokes. Like Thor's still at the weird stage of like he's not a funny bloke yet. Like he's not Ragnarok Thor.
There's
yet.
a lot of jokes
Like,
there's a lot of jokes at his expense. Wonder what that feels like.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so that was that. I mean, there's a lot of favorite parts in this for me. Like the cinematography, there are actually like quite a few shots that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like there's one where they're all arguing with each other in like the laboratory, and the camera kind of swings around like the staff, Loki's staff, and it comes upside down.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's good just to see
That's
like
pretty
that
cool
little
'cause
bit of effort.
it also has the feeling of it's like a handheld thing as well. It's weaving in between all of the characters. Like it's like very much you're part of the room, and then it goes over to the staff, and then slowly flips upside down.
Yeah.
Which is a very good way of visually telling the audience exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and it's like it's one of those things where it fits in so seamlessly with the movie until you're like, wait, how did they do that? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So
Cane dogs.
Cane dogs.
What did you think of the
About
film?
your-
The most positive.
positives.
Your biggest posse.
My biggest posse.
Yeah, what's your biggest posse?
My biggest posse is, I was actually a tough one. I expected to come out of
tricky.
this being really sort of hyped about it again and really hyped for Endgame, but I actually didn't like a lot of this film rewatching it. I think the best thing that I sort of have to say about it is it really set up the template for all the better films to come. It doesn't give the best characterizations of everyone, but it did prove to audiences and future directors alike that it can be done.
Yeah.
And all the characters can get their moment in the light, and that all of their characters don't necessarily have to outshine each other all the time. Just prove that it can be done. We've since seen it done better, but this film certainly set the way for that, and I think it's always going to hold that first sitting of an Avengers film. But outside of that, I have a lot more negatives now that this film has aged more. I think for the time it was really, really well done, but since seeing it done better, it doesn't hold up as well.
Cool. Sweet. All right. Do you want to swing on into the negatives then?
Sure. My biggest negative is the characterizations of each individual Avenger. I think
How so?
So, as we've seen, Captain America can be an incredibly interesting and a really cool sort of formidable character. But that didn't really happen until The Winter Soldier, which happened after this. So in this, he really is only given busy work to do. He spends the whole movie just telling people how he's old and how he doesn't understand references and stuff and things that don't even make sense for him to say, he says. Like, there's a part in the movie where Iron Man gives him some busy work to do during a helicarrier falling out of the sky, and he looks at it, he's like, it seems to run on electricity. You would know that. Even if you didn't know that hopping onto the helicarrier, you'd know it by then.
You'd assume.
Just lots of stuff where just in the middle of serious moments, he's like, I understood that reference. Great. Or he spends the whole time just being like, I was in World War II, World War II, World War II, World War II, World War II.
Again, it's one of those things, like, the first time you see it, like, in cinemas with other people around you, everyone's laughing. Yeah, it's funny, but when you're expecting it, and it does probably get a bit stale.
When this movie came out, Iron Man was probably the most
fleshed out
and also the fan favorite. So he gets the most parts of this film, and he really is the only one that has any effect on any of the actual story of this film. The rest of the characters are largely given busy work. As I said, Captain America just does super parkour at the end of the battle, but he doesn't really contribute in any other way. Super parkour. Thor is weirdly Shakespearean and poorly written in this. Like, again, he doesn't do anything for the whole film except Shakespeareanly say things, and then people just make fun of him for being just, I don't know, a god.
Long-haired freak.
And he doesn't, he doesn't do anything for the only scene he really gets that anyone remembers is when he fights that Hulk that one time, and that's all. The Hulk himself is probably one of the better characters, and he really doesn't do anything until the last 10 minutes of the film. And then you've got Iron Man, which is probably my most annoying part of this film, which is that for Iron Man 1, he's smart and steps ahead of people, and that includes in social interactions. But he doesn't usually just go out of his way to be a complete dick to strangers. He's usually a dick to some of his closer friends, and he makes fun of them. In this movie, he actively picks a fight with everyone he talks to the point where he tries to unleash the Hulk on a Halo character for shits and gigs. Like, he electrifies Bruce Banner to be like, "You're gonna be the Hulk yet? You'll literally kill everyone. If that worked, you'd kill everybody."
I mean, he'd be fine because he'd just get into his suit and fly away.
Yeah, but he's just he makes no sense. He just fights Thor because
he is
Thor
a bit
shows
of a
up.
chunky bitch.
Well, it's like they capture Loki, and then Thor's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take Loki off this planet because he will kill everyone." And Iron Man's like, "No, we're gonna, I don't know, put him into our legal system, and then he's gonna go to court." And what are you talking about? Why are you fighting Thor? What? Do you have a plan? I have a plan. It's attack. Why? Because I'm Iron Man and I'm everyone's favorite character, and
most of all,
ACDC. So it's just his character is he's just a dick for no reason. So it's just all the characterizations are really sort of off in this movie, because since then Thor's gone on to become people's favorite Avenger, Captain America's gone on to become people's favorite Avenger, Iron Man has started to be less of a dick in more recent films and being a bit of a father figure to like Peter Parker and shit. But prior to that, in this film, none of them are likable. I hated every character in this movie.
I feel like mine would be probably the visuals just feel really outdated now. Since we've gone through so many Marvel films since then, it just seems so washed out and so kind of like basic action film almost, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the most colourful thing in this film is Captain America's suit.
Oh, and that looks
like
so horrible.
Super blue, and it looks
it's a bit out of place.
Yeah. But it's just like, everything's super washed out and like kind of grey, and it's just kind of like dull, and it's like, because like all of the newer films are all like bright colours in your face, and it's pretty entertaining. I also think that they edited the film wrong. I think they should have just have it played backwards. Because if you watch it backwards, it's about Iron Man stealing a bomb from a bunch of people in space, and then the Avengers fix a tower, and Loki brings Phil back to life. So I think they should have just played it.
And then they go their separate ways.
Yeah. And then Loki gives Nick Fury the Tesseract back, and then everyone's happy and fine at the beginning of the film. So I think that was a major.
Oh, that's great. You could do that with any of them, though. Like Infinity War, Thanos brings 50% of the Earth back to life, and then Thor gets rid of a hammer.
Thor gets rid of a hammer. That's great.
What a movie.
What a movie.
What a movie. What a
Angus,
legend.
your biggest negative.
All right, my biggest negative. My biggest negative was right at the start, and it's not like a massive negative, but it's something that I was really disappointed in.
Captain America's
was-
old-timey clothes.
No. It was
This is the boring fight scenes with Loki in it.
no.
Is it the fact that Hawkeye does nothing for the whole film because he gets brainwashed to the point where even on the front cover of the Avengers, he's in a tiny corner with Black Widow where the other characters all have their own big segments? It's actually quite funny looking up.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was right at the start. I remember getting so hyped the first time that I saw the Avengers title.
Hyped or hype?
Oh, yeah.
Turn. Hyped. Okay, hyped. And I
All the
have...
dum 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 boom 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 boom. You know that song?
Yeah.
Avengers song.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being so hyped seeing that title kind of spin around on black for the first time ever. This thing, it seemed to pass really quick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think in the newer Avengers movies, they've actually slowed down the theme
Yeah, because
as
they've
well.
put all the graphics
'Cause-
and everything in, and it's become a bit more
'cause
monumental. And...
The theme, like the song, the main Avengers song, it was actually really quick in this movie.
Yeah.
Compared to the other movies that we've seen. So that was like, I think just that idea as a whole of it, being so hyped up in my head.
Yeah.
And then actually rewatching it, like, oh, actually,
That's the thing. I think
it's
It also
not as good as I remember.
I know we did watch this on DVD, but also the Avengers title did look a little low res compared to the rest of the movie, which was
Yeah.
weird. And then it was just silver blocks that said the Avengers with a light behind it. Whereas, like, when you watch them now, they're just like these massive, amazing, like CGI
Visual,
fests
yeah.
of like the title of the film or whatever. And this was just like silver spinning letters, and it was just like, huh,
this film...
it's weird, isn't it? Going back and watching this stuff.
It's so weird.
This experience worries me a little bit because I've always looked at these films sort of since...
Well, that's
the
how you
first-
watch films. You look at
Since
them.
the first Iron Man to up until now in Endgame, and I've always thought, like, when I'm older, I can't wait to go back and rewatch these and sort of feel that again. But we're only we're 6 years down the track from that movie, and already I'm like, it doesn't hold up. So I'm a bit worried that, films like Infinity War that I hold really dearly when I revisit, what if they're just not, what if they're no good 6 years from now? It could be,
It's tricky.
It could be really damning.
I don't know. Only time will tell. Okay.
Thank
We're
you.
done. We're done the podcast now.
Thank you, time telling. I don't even know what that accent is.
The time telling cat. It's a cat.
Okay, the time telling cat.
I want Brody.
Shoo.
I want Brody to do this just because I appreciate Brody's brand of the way he delivers these kind of comical aspects. But Brody, if you could just relay Loki's plan for us.
Fair enough. Can you use my real name first?
Steve Rogers.
Nailed it.
Great.
Loki's plan is basically to appear in the basement of a town and then steal an infinity gem, but not use it for anything cool, because he's already got a second one, making him the most powerful character in all of the universe, but he doesn't use that one either much. And then he kind of just wants to make a portal so he goes to Germany. If Hawkeye had brought 3 explosive arrows and destroyed 3 of the engines, half the Avengers would have died.
Yeah.
Well,
Half of them would have died.
either that or he could have just stayed in hiding until he was ready to unleash the army, and none of that would have happened, and the same ending would have happened, and he would have been fine anyway.
And he still would have had Hawkeye.
He did nothing. The whole his
Hawkeye,
plan made
the most
no
important
sense.
character
Yeah.
in the entire MCU, except
Yeah.
for Captain Marvel.
So I'm not quite sure what Loki's plan was, because if Loki knew Thor was coming, surely he was like, oh, I guess Thor could always just take me. Like, when Thanos was like, no, I'm going to send you to Earth, would that be a problem? Could have been like, well, presumably my brother could just show up and then take me to Asgard immediately, and then I'd spend my life in prison, but he probably won't, and if he does, someone on Earth will probably stop him for no reason. And they do! What a lucky bastard.
It is a series of
Coincidental
very,
plans.
Coincidental
It's
events.
a lot of something coincidental happens, and Loki's like, I planned that. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Stop taking
planned
credit for this
that.
shit.
Sweet. All right. There we
Yeah, I
go.
think we nailed it.
That was our thoughts on the Avengers, the first one.
That being said, I still liked it. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's fine.
It's better in my head.
It is better.
That's
yeah.
like most things.
If you are going to rewatch it in your head, and only kind of vaguely remember the plot.
Or just watch like your favorite scenes on YouTube, but don't watch
Yeah.
the whole film.
Yeah. Yes, sweet. All right, next week is the big one. This is Kane Dogs' last
Avengers
podcast.
2, Age of Ultron.
Yeah. So, Hellboy again.
No, it is... What are we doing?
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. Come over next time. Find out what we're reviewing.
Probably a big movie that I may or may not have been looking forward to for a
Shazam
long
2.
time.
Shazam 2.
Jordan's been looking forward to that.
After we
since he
do this,
saw
I'm probably
Captain Marvel.
retiring because, well, what else is there once we do this movie? But, you know, we'll see. We haven't quite figured out what we'll do. Maybe End Game if it's out. Yeah,
no.
we'll see.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know.
Let's see if they find a way to bring people back to life. And then the week after that, we've got the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, sick one. All right. Cool. Sweet. So, tune in for that one. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
See ya. I mean, leave, I guess.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Film Slice Podcast. You can reach us
Slice
on
Podcast.
Instagram. You can reach us on Twitter. You can reach us on all those bloody socials. Hit us up.
Social boards.
See you next week.
Bye.
Okay. Love you. Bye.